I was at the university swimming pool when I noticed something terribly wrong. The woman in lane 2 was struggling, and the water around her was turning red. 2 hours later, I sat shivering in my wet clothes as Sergeant Bowen questioned everyone who witnessed the murder. He told me the victim's name was Evelyn Norton, a 25-year-old bank employee. Nobody knew why anyone would want to kill her. My friend Millie was waiting for me in the hall, looking deeply worried. After I changed into dry clothes, we talked in my apartment. I could tell she was hiding something important. When I suggested the shooter might have been aiming at her instead of Evelyn, she became defensive and shouted that nobody wanted to kill her. She barely touched her dinner and spent the evening glued to the television news about the murder. That night, a threatening phone call woke me at 3:30. A man's voice demanded money by 10 o'clock or Millie wouldn't be lucky a second time. I heard another click on the line and realized Millie had been listening on the other phone. By the time I reached the living room, she had already fled my apartment. The next morning, I woke up with a terrible cold. I tried calling Millie everywhere, checking with her brother Richard and even her father in California, but nobody had heard from her. I contacted Tommy Weaver's associate Conway, who worked with one of Florida's criminal organizations. Conway discovered that Millie owed $50,000 to Peter Salt, a notorious gambling boss. I decided to search Millie's house near the local school. Her car was in the garage, but the house seemed empty. I found a broken kitchen window and climbed inside, followed by a hungry cat. Everything appeared normal until I checked upstairs. As I descended the stairs, I heard movement from the attic above. Suddenly, an arm holding a gun appeared through the ceiling opening. I ran as shots rang out, feeling sharp pain in my shoulder. The cat darted between the attacker's legs, making him tumble down the stairs. She had saved my life. Some boys playing baseball outside helped me reach the hospital, where doctors removed the bullet from my shoulder. When I woke up, an FBI agent named Perry Cooper was sitting beside my bed. He revealed that Millie was suspected of selling Defense Department secrets to the Japanese. Her aircraft designs had disappeared, along with her and a Japanese businessman. I told him everything, though I suspected the real thief might be someone else entirely. Conway called to confirm Millie had borrowed money from Peter Salt. Then Millie herself telephoned briefly, and I recognized background noises from our old high school sports ground. I drove there and found her helping Miss Beatrice, our former swimming teacher, with the pool classes. Millie looked terrified when I confronted her. Through her tears, Millie explained the heartbreaking truth. Her younger brother Richard was the real gambler who had lost everything. She had raised him after their mother died when she was 15 and he was only 9. Richard had borrowed money using Millie's name and then stolen her classified design files, hoping to sell them to pay his debts. Millie had called him and arranged to meet at the pool to get the files back. She begged me not to involve the FBI until she could talk to Richard first. I sent the students away, turned off the pool lights, and waited in the darkness with my gun ready. Richard arrived with one of Peter Salt's men. When I revealed myself and demanded the files, Richard's companion shot at me. I dove into the pool as bullets struck the water around me. Then I heard Millie's voice pleading with her brother to stop shooting. I climbed out to find Millie lying motionless on the floor. Richard stood frozen while his companion reloaded his gun. I fought him desperately, and just as Richard took the weapon to shoot me himself, Miss Beatrice's commanding voice rang out through the pool. Richard dropped the gun immediately. Millie lived just long enough to tell the FBI everything. Richard confessed that he had wanted Peter Salt to kill his sister before she could expose him. He planned to let the world believe she had betrayed her country. The FBI agents, who had been following Richard but not closely enough, arrived 10 minutes too late. They blamed me for Millie's death because I hadn't told them where she was hiding. I spent many days in prison afterwards. Sitting in that cell, I thought about the little girl who had lost her mother and dedicated her life to protecting her younger brother. She had sacrificed everything for Richard, and in the end, he had repaid her love with betrayal and murder. The prison sentence felt like punishment, but it could never match the weight of knowing I had failed to save her. As I stared at the cold prison walls, I realized that sometimes the people we love most are the ones who hurt us deepest, and no amount of devotion can save someone determined to destroy themselves and everyone who cares for them.